After he and Joshua finished off a case, Dunny had refused to jump. He was 25, he had said, and while the twins could still balance on the iron railing like squirrels on a power line, he couldn't. "Y'all niggas gonna jump or what?" Dunny asked. Christophe squinted at Joshua, at the face that was his own, but not. Full lips, a jutting round nose, and skin the color of the shallows of the water below that named them twins. If he leaned in closer, he could see that which was different. Freckles over Joshua's cheeks and ears, where Christophe's skin was clear. Joshua's eyes that turned hazel when the sun hit them, while Christophe's eyes remained so dark brown they looked black. And Joshua's hair that was so fine at the neck, it was hard to braid. Christophe moved closer to his brother, and when his arm slid along the length of Joshua's forearm, for a second it was as if Christophe had touched himself, crossed his own forearms, toucher, and touched. Christophe was ready to leap. His stomach roiled with a combination of beer and anxiety, but he'd wait. Christophe knew Joshua. Christophe knew that while he liked to do things quickly, Joshua was slower about some things. His brother was looking across the water, eyeing the river winding away into the distance, the houses like small toys along the shoreline that were half hidden by the oak, pine, and underbrush rustling at the water's edge. "That one up there on the right, that white one, looks like the one Mamie used to work at, huh?" What Christophe could see of the house through the trees was large and white, and glazed with windows. He nodded, feeling his balance. "Yeah," Christophe said. "I always wanted to have a house like that one day. Big like that. Nice." Christophe loved to look at those houses, but hated it too. They made him feel poor. They made him think of Mamie, his grandmother, back when she was healthy and could still see, scrubbing the dirt out of white people's floors for 40 years. He knew she was waiting for them now at the house, regardless of her blindness and her diabetes, with their gowns laid out on the sofa, pressed. He swallowed, tasting warm beer. Those stupid houses were ruining the jump. "Well, the house gonna rot into the ground before we can buy it, Jay." Christophe laughed and spit a white glob out over the river. It arced and fell quickly. "Can we jump so we can graduate and make some money?" Sweat stung Christophe's eyes. Joshua was staring at the water, blinking hard. Christophe saw Joshua swallow. His brother was nervous about the drop. His own throat was clenching with the idea of the fall. It was so early in the summer that Christophe knew the water would be cold. "Come on then, Chris." Joshua grabbed Christophe by the arm and pulled. He threw his other arm into the air and leaned out into space. Christophe let go and leaped into Joshua, hugging him around his chest, and felt him burning and sweaty in his arms, squirming like a caught fish. They seemed to hang in the air for a moment, held in place by the heavy, humid blue sky, the surrounding green, the brown water below. In the distance, a car sounded as it approached on the road. Christophe heard Joshua exhale deeply, and he clenched his fingers around Joshua's arms. Then the moment passed, and they began to fall. They dropped and hit the water, and an eruption of tepid water burned up their noses, their mouths opening by instinct. The water was silty on their tongues and tasted like unsweetened tea. In the middle of the surging, murky river, both brothers felt for the bottom with their feet even as they let go of each other and struggled to swim upward. They surfaced. The day exploded in color and light and sound around them. They blew snot and water out of their nostrils. Christophe tossed his head and grinned, while Joshua screwed a pinky finger into one ear. On the bank, Dunny was rolling a blunt from his